In today's lesson, we will explore how do animals spend the winter. We'll also cover all the follow-up activities including grammar activities and paragraph writing activities. Have you ever wondered how birds, insects and other animals survive the freezing winter? Well, some migrate, some hibernate and some adapt in amazing ways. So, let's dive into the story and learn together. How do animals spend the winter? The weather gets colder. Days get shorter and leaves change color and fall off the trees. Soon, winter is here. Snow covers the ground. People live in warm houses and wear heavy coats outside. Our food comes from the grocery store. But what about animals? This paragraph introduces the winter season. यो प्याराग्राफले जाडो मौसमको बारेमा बताउँदैछ. And this paragraph also shows how the environment changes. र यो प्याराग्राफले जाडो मौसम सुरु हुन अघि हुने परिवर्तनहरूलाई पनि देखाउँदैछ. The weather becomes cold. मौसम के हुन्छ? मौसम चिसो हुन्छ. Days get shorter or days become shorter. दिनहरू छुटिन्छन्. Tree leaves change color before falling off. र रुखको पातहरूले कलर बदल्छन् र रुखबाट झर्छन्. Soon winter is here. Snow covers the ground. Winter आउँछ. यानि कि जाडो मौसम आउँछ र जमिनहरू हिउँले ढाकिन थाल्छन्. People live in warm houses and wear heavy coats outside. मानिसहरू घरभित्रै न्यानो भएर बस्छन् र बाहिर निस्किँदा बाक्लो कोटहरू लगाउँछन्. Our food comes from the grocery store. र ग्रोसरी पसलबाट हामीहरू खाना ल्याउँछौँ. But what about animals? तर जनावरहरूले जाडोमा के गर्छन् त? Paragraph A. Animals do many different amazing things to get through the winter. Animals use different strategies to survive winter. जाडो यामबाट बस्नका लागि एनिमल्सहरूले विभिन्न तरिकाहरू अपनाउँछन्. Some of them migrate. This means they travel to other places where the weather is warmer or they can find food. Some animals migrate or travel to the warmer places or to the places where they can find food. केही जनावरहरू अझ तातो स्थान अथवा स्थान जहाँ खानेकुरा पाउँछ त्यहाँ माइग्रेट गर्छन् अथवा बसाइ सर्छन्. Many birds migrate in the autumn. Because the trip can be dangerous, some travel in large flocks. For example, geese fly in noisy V-shaped groups. Other kinds of birds fly alone. Some birds fly in a group called flocks and other kinds of birds fly alone. धेरै जसो चराहरू समूह जसलाई फ्लक भनिन्छ त्यो समूहमा ट्राभल गर्छन् भने कुनै कुनै बर्ड्सहरू चाहिँ एक्लै पनि फ्लाइ गर्छन्. How do they know when it is time to leave for the winter? Scientists are still studying this. Many see migration as part of a yearly cycle of changes a bird goes through. The cycle is controlled by changes in the amount of daylight and the weather. Birds can fly very long distances. For example, the Arctic tern nests close to the North Pole in the summer. In autumn, it flies south, all the way to Antarctica. Each spring, it returns north again. Most migrating birds travel shorter distances. But how do they find their way to the same place each year? Birds seem to navigate like sailors once did, using the sun, moon, and stars for direction. They also seem to have a compass in their brain for using the Earth's magnetic field. Birds fly guided by daylight, weather, and Earth's magnetic field. चराहरू प्रकाश, मौसम र पृथ्वीको चुम्बकीय क्षेत्रको सहायताले बाटो पत्ता लगाएर उड्छन्। Birds use the sun, moon, stars and Earth's magnetic field to navigate or to find their way. चराहरूले बाटो पत्ता लगाउन घाम, चन्द्रमा, ताराहरू र पृथ्वीको चुम्बकीय क्षेत्र प्रयोग गर्छन्। Migrating birds, example, the Arctic tern nest. They travel from North Pole to Antarctica and they return to their previous places each year. आर्कटिक टर्न चराहरू उनीहरू हरेक वर्ष उत्तरी ध्रुवमा पुगेर फर्किन्छन्। Other animals migrate too. There are a few mammals like some bats, caribou and elk and whales that travel in search of food each winter. Many fish migrate. They may swim south or move into deeper, warmer water. Some insects also migrate. Certain butterflies and moths fly very long distances. For example, monarch butterflies spend the summer in Canada and the northern US. They migrate as far south as Mexico for the winter. Most migrating insects go much shorter distances. Many, like termites and Japanese beetles, move downward into the soil. Earthworms also move down, some as far as 6 feet below the surface. Besides birds, other animals also migrate to survive in winter. चराहरू मात्र नभएर बाँकी अन्य एनिमल्सहरू पनि जाडो महिनाबाट बस्नका लागि बसाई सर्छन्। Animals such as bats, caribou, elk, whales, butterflies and even insects also migrate to survive in winter. जनावरहरू जस्तै bats, चमेरा, caribou and elk, हिरण अथवा हरिण, whales, butterflies र even किरा फट्याङ्ग्राहरू पनि जाडोबाट बस्नका लागि माइग्रेट गर्छन् अथवा बसाई सर्छन्। Some insects like termites, beetles and earthworms, they move underground during the cold season. केही किराहरू जस्तै termites, काठ खाने किरा, Japanese beetles, जापानिज किरा and earthworm, गडौला जाडोबाट बच्न माटोभित्र पस्छन्। Paragraph B. Some animals remain and stay active in the winter. They must adapt to the changing weather. Many make changes in their behavior or bodies. Some animals remain active in winter to changing weather by changing their behavior or bodies. केही जनावरहरू परिवर्तन भइरहेको वेदरसँग अनुकूल हुनका लागि अथवा एडजस्ट हुनका लागि सक्रिय रहन्छन् र आफ्नो हाउभाउ र आफ्नो शरीरमा पनि परिवर्तन ल्याउँछन्। To keep warm, animals may grow new, thicker fur in the autumn. Animals grow new and thicker fur in the autumn to keep themselves warm. जाडो महिनाको अटम सिजनमा जनावरहरू आफूलाई वार्म यानि कि तातो राख्नका लागि नयाँ र बाक्लो रौँहरू उमार्छन्। On weasels and snowshoe rabbits, the new fur is white to help them hide in the snow. Animals like weasels and snowshoe rabbits, they grow white fur to hide in the snow during winter. Weasels यानि कि नेवाला भन्ने एनिमल र स्नोसू ऱ्याबिट्स हिउँमा पाइने खरायोहरूले नयाँ सेतो रौँहरू उमार्छन् जसले गर्दा उनीहरूलाई जाडो महिनामा हिउँमा लुक्नका लागि सहयोग गर्छ। Food is hard to find in the winter. जाडो महिनामा खानाहरू भेट्टाउन गाह्रो हुन्छ। Some animals like squirrels, mice and beavers gather extra food in the autumn and store it to eat later. Animalsहरू जस्तै squirrels, लोखर्के, mice, मुसो र बिबर्सहरूले अटम सिजनमा नै खानाहरू स्टोर गरेर राख्छन् र जाडोमा खान्छन्. Some, like rabbits and deer, spend winter looking for moss, twigs, bark and leaves to eat. खरायो र हरिणले मस यानि कि काई अथवा लेउ, ट्विग्स सानोतिनो हाँका, बार्क रुखको बोक्रा and leaves पातहरू खान्छन्. Other animals eat different kinds of food as the seasons change. जनावरहरूले मौसम अनुसार खानेकुराहरू पनि बदल्छन्. The red fox eats fruit and insects in the spring, summer and autumn. In the winter, it cannot find these things, so instead it eats small rodents. The red fox यानि कि रातो लमडीले गर्मी महिनामा फलफुलहरू किराहरू खान्छन् भने जाडो महिनामा यो किराहरू फ्रुट्सहरू नपाउने भएकोले सानोतिनो मुसाहरू खान्छन्. Paragraph C. Animals may find winter shelter in holes in trees or logs, under rocks or leaves or underground. जनावरहरूले जाडोमा रुखको प्वाल अथवा ठुटा, ढुङ्गा वा पातको मुनि अथवा भुइँ मुनि आश्रय लिन्छन्. Some mice even build tunnels through the snow. मुसोहरूले हिउँभित्र सुरुङ यानि कि टनल बनाउँछन्. To try to stay warm, animals like squirrels and mice may huddle close together. जाडो महिनामा न्यानो बस्नको लागि लोखर्केहरू अथवा मुसोहरू सँगै टाँसिएर बस्छन्. Certain spiders and insects may stay active if they live in frost-free areas and can find food to eat. माकुराहरू अथवा किराहरू पानीको शीत बेगरको एरियामा जाडो महिनामा पनि एक्टिभ हुन सक्छन् र आफ्नो लागि खानेकुराहरू खोज्न सक्छन्. There are a few insects like the winter stonefly, cranefly and snowflies that are normally active in winter. Also, some fish stay active in cold water during the winter. केही किराफट्याङ्ग्राहरू जस्तै विन्टर स्टोनफ्लाई, क्रेनफ्लाई, स्नोफ्लिज र केही फिस माछाहरू पनि जाडो महिनामा एक्टिभ रहन्छन्. Paragraph D. Some animals hibernate for part or all of the winter. केही जनावरहरू जाडो सिजनको केही महिना अथवा पुरै जाडो महिनामा हाइबरनेट गर्छन् यानि कि एकदमै गहिरो निन्द्रामा सुत्छन्. This is a special very deep sleep. हाइबरनेट भनेको एकदमै गहिरो निन्द्रामा सुत्नु हो. The animal's body temperature drops and its heartbeat and breathing slow down. It uses very little energy. जनावरहरूले आफू हाइबरनेट गर्दाखेरि आफूमा भएको एनर्जीलाई जोगाउनका लागि उनीहरूको शरीरको तापक्रम, मुटुको धड्कन र श्वास प्रश्वास बिस्तारै गर्छन्. In the autumn, these animals get ready for winter by eating extra food and storing it as body fat. यो एनिमलहरूले जाडो महिना आउनभन्दा अगाडि नै एक्स्ट्रा फुड अथवा आवश्यक भन्दा ज्यादा खानेकुरा खाएर एज अ बडी फ्याट खानेकुराहरू आफ्नो बडीमा नै स्टोर गरेर राखेको हुन्छन्. दे युज दिस फ्याट फर एनर्जी वाइल हाइबरनेटिङ. र यही अलरेडी खाएर बनाएको बडी फ्याट नै बाँच्नका लागि जाडो महिनामा युज गर्छन्. सम अल्सो स्टोर फुड लाइक नट्स अर एकोर्न्स टु इट लेटर इन द विन्टर. कुनै एनिमलहरूले जाडो महिनामा खाना खानका लागि गर्मी महिनामा नै फुडहरू स्टोर गरेर राख्छन्. बेयर्स, स्कंक्स, चिपमंक्स एन्ड सम ब्याट्स हाइबरनेट. भालु, स्कंक्स, चिपमंक्स र चमेराहरू जाडो महिनामा हाइबरनेट गर्छन् यानि कि गहिरो निन्द्रामा सुत्छन्. Paragraph E. Cold-blooded animals like fish, frogs, snakes and turtles have no way to keep warm during the winter. Cold-blooded animals. चिसो रगत भएको जनावरहरू जस्तै फिश, फ्रग्स, स्नेक्स, टर्टल्स उनीहरू जाडो महिनामा तात्तिन सक्दैनन्. Snakes and many other reptiles find shelter in holes or burrows and spend the winter inactive or dormant. त्यस्ता जनावरहरू भुइँको प्वालभित्र बस्छन् र जाडो महिना निष्क्रिय भएर अथवा हाइबरनेसन जस्तै निन्द्रामा बिताउँछन्. Water makes a good shelter for many animals. When the weather gets cold, they move to the bottom of lakes and ponds. यस्ता कोल्ड ब्लडेड एनिमल्सहरूको लागि पानीले राम्रो आश्रय दिन्छन्. जब सिजन अझ धेरै जाडो भएर आउँछ त्यस्तो एनिमल्सहरू ताल वा पोखरीको मुनि जान्छन्. There, frogs, turtles and many fish hide under rocks, logs or fallen leaves. They may even bury themselves in the mud. यस्ता कोल्ड ब्लडेड जनावरहरू आफूले आफूलाई जाडोबाट बचाउनका लागि हिलोमा पुरिन्छन् वा ताल वा पोखरीको मुनि जान्छन्. ढुङ्गा मुनि, काठको ठुटा अथवा झरेको रुखको पत्ताहरू मुनि पनि बस्छन्. They become dormant. उनीहरू निष्क्रिय हुन्छन्. Cold water holds more oxygen than warm water, and the frogs and turtles can breathe by absorbing it through their skin. चिसो पानीमा बढी अक्सिजन हुन्छ. त्यसैले भ्यागुता अथवा कछुवाले चिसो पानीभित्र गएर छालाबाट सास लिन्छन्. Task A, word meaning. A shop that sells food and other things used in homes. Answer, grocery store. A shop that sells food and other things used in homes. Grocery store. B, related to the regions around the North Pole. Arctic. Related to the regions around the North Pole. Arctic. C, an underground passage, tunnel. An underground passage, tunnel. D, to find the right way to deal with a difficult situation. Navigate. To find the right way to deal with a difficult situation. Navigate. E, a person who works on a ship as a member of the crew. Sailor. A person who works on a ship as a member of the crew. Sailor. Sailor. A person who works on a ship as a member of the crew. Sailor. F, to change behavior in order to deal more successfully with a new situation. Adapt. To change behavior in order to deal more successfully with a new situation. Adapt. G, a very small green or yellow plant that spreads over wet surfaces, rocks, trees, etc. Moss. A very small green or yellow plant that spreads over wet surfaces, rocks, trees, etc. Moss. Moss. H, to gather closely together, usually because of cold or fear. Huddle. To gather closely together, usually because of cold or fear. Huddle. Task B, read the paragraphs A to E and match them with the suitable titles. A, migration to new places. So now look at this paragraph A, and it tells that animals migrate or they travel to other places. Other places means new places. Migrate is verb, migration is noun. So paragraph A, migration to new places. B, adaptation to new weather. B, adaptation to new weather. Paragraph B, some animals means animals. They must adapt to the changing weather means this is adaptation to new weather. C, living in underground holes. Paragraph C, animals may find winter shelter. Shelter भनेको आश्रय लिन्छन्. कहाँ? In holes, underground. कहाँ? Holes मा, underground मा. So C, living in underground holes. D, going into a deep sleep. So paragraph D is saying that some animals hibernate, and hibernate means very deep sleep. केही एनिमल्सहरू चाहिँ हाइबरनेट गर्छन् र हाइबरनेट भनेको एकदमै गहिरो निन्द्रामा सुत्नु हो. Paragraph D goes to going into deep sleep. E, other ways to survive. Paragraph E, it says cold-blooded animals have no way to keep warm during winter. So चिसो रगत भएको एनिमल्सहरुको चाहिँ जाडोबाट बस्नको लागि आफूसँग केही वे हुँदैन, त्यही भएर उले अरु वेहरु अपनाउँछन्. That is why answer is other ways to survive. E. Other ways to survive. Task C. True or false? A. Animals wear thick coats to protect themselves from the cold. Answer false. Because animals do different things to protect themselves from cold. Example, some animals migrate. Some animals grow thick fur, but they do not wear coats. So answer is false. B. Flying in flocks help birds protect themselves from the cold. Answer false. It says many birds migrate in autumn because the trip can be dangerous. Some travel in large flocks. धेरै जसो बर्ड्सहरु चाहिँ अटम सिजनमा माइग्रेट गर्छन्, यानी कि ट्राभल गर्छन्, र त्यो ट्राभल गर्ने ट्रिप चाहिँ के हुन्छ, डेन्जरस हुन्छ, त्यही भएर उनीहरु फ्लक्स भनेको ग्रुपमा ट्राभल गर्छन् अथवा फ्लाइ गर्छन् भन्दैछ. So this does not say flying in flocks helps birds protect themselves from cold. अब यसरी ग्रुप्स अथवा फ्लक्समा फ्लाइ गर्दाखेरि बर्डहरुलाई जाडोबाट जोगाउँछ भन्ने कुरा गरेकै छैन है. That is why answer is false. Answer is not true but false. C. Birds do not travel far to avoid the cold. Answer false. Birds can fly very long distances. क्वेशनले के भन्यो, लामो लामो यात्रा गर्दैन, बटेले भन्यो लामो लामो यात्रा पनि गर्छ. जस्तै कि आर्कटिक टर्न भन्ने बर्ड, यो बर्ड हो, यो चाहिँ यति धेरै टाढासम्म ट्राभल गर्छ, अन्टार्कटिकासम्म पनि पुग्छ भन्दैछ. So answer is false. D. Some animals collect extra food for winter. Answer true. Animals like squirrels, mice, they store food in summer season and eat in winter season. Animals जस्तै कि squirrels, mice, यस्ता खालका एनिमलहरुले चाहिँ गर्मी महिनामा खानाहरु कलेक्ट गरेर स्टोर गरेर राख्छ र जाडो महिनामा त्यही खाँदै बस्छ. E. Snowflakes hibernate in winter. Answer false. Because snowflakes do not hibernate in winter. Instead, they stay active during winter. Snowflakes winter season मा हाइबरनेट भनेको गहिरो निन्द्रामा सुत्दैन है, हाइबरनेट गर्दैन. Rather, उनीहरु चाहिँ विन्टरभरि एक्टिभ रहन्छन्. F. Cold water makes it difficult for some animals to breathe. Answer false. Why? Because cold water holds more oxygen. Cold water ले अझै धेरै oxygen लिन्छ. Therefore, frogs and turtles can absorb oxygen from cold water through their skin. त्यही भएर एनिमल्स जस्तै फ्रग्स, टर्टल्स, उनीहरुले चाहिँ चिसो पानीमा भएको अक्सिजन आफ्नो स्किनको सहायताले अथवा छालाको सहायताले अब्जर्भ गर्छ, लिन्छ, सोच्छ. That is why answer is false. Task C. True or false? A. Animals wear thick coats to protect themselves from the cold. Answer false. Because animals do different things to protect themselves from cold. Example, some animals migrate. Some animals grow thick fur, but they do not wear coats. So answer is false. B. Flying in flocks help birds protect themselves from the cold. Answer false. It says many birds migrate in autumn because the trip can be dangerous. Some travel in large flocks. धेरै जसो बर्ड्सहरु चाहिँ अटम सिजनमा माइग्रेट गर्छन्, यानी कि ट्राभल गर्छन्, र त्यो ट्राभल गर्ने ट्रिप चाहिँ के हुन्छ, डेन्जरस हुन्छ, त्यही भएर उनीहरु फ्लक्स भनेको ग्रुपमा ट्राभल गर्छन् अथवा फ्लाइ गर्छन् भन्दैछ. So this does not say flying in flocks helps birds protect themselves from cold. अब यसरी ग्रुप्स अथवा फ्लक्समा फ्लाइ गर्दाखेरि बर्डहरुलाई जाडोबाट जोगाउँछ भन्ने कुरा गरेकै छैन है. That is why answer is false. Answer is not true but false. C. Birds do not travel far to avoid the cold. Answer false. Birds can fly very long distances. क्वेशनले के भन्यो, लामो लामो यात्रा गर्दैन, बटेले भन्यो लामो लामो यात्रा पनि गर्छ. जस्तै कि आर्कटिक टर्न भन्ने बर्ड, यो बर्ड हो, यो चाहिँ यति धेरै टाढासम्म ट्राभल गर्छ, अन्टार्कटिकासम्म पनि पुग्छ भन्दैछ. So answer is false. D. Some animals collect extra food for winter. Answer true. Animals like squirrels, mice, they store food in summer season and eat in winter season. एनिमल्स जस्तै कि स्क्वारल्स, माइस यस्ता खालको एनिमलहरूले चाहिँ गर्मी महिनामा खानाहरू कलेक्ट गरेर स्टोर गरेर राख्छ र जाडो महिनामा त्यही खाँदै बस्छ. E. Snow fleas hibernate in winter. Answer false. Because snow fleas do not hibernate in winter. Instead, they stay active during winter. Snow fleas winter seasonमा हाइबरनेट भनेको गहिरो निन्द्रामा सुत्दैन है, हाइबरनेट गर्दैन. रादर उनीहरू चाहिँ विन्टरभरि एक्टिभ रहन्छन्. F. Cold water makes it difficult for some animals to breathe. Answer false. Why? Because cold water holds more oxygen. Cold waterले अझै धेरै oxygen लिन्छ. Therefore, frogs and turtles can absorb oxygen from cold water through their skin. त्यही भएर एनिमल्स जस्तै फ्रग्स, टर्टल्स उनीहरूले चाहिँ चिसो पानीमा भएको अक्सिजन आफ्नो स्किनको सहायताले अथवा छालाको सहायताले अब्जर्भ गर्छ, लिन्छ, सोच्छ. द्याट इज वाइ एन्सर इज फल्स. Tax D. Question answer. A. Why do birds migrate in groups? Possible answer. Birds migrate in groups to stay safe because the trip can be dangerous. Again, birds migrate in groups to stay safe because the trip can be dangerous. B. What controls the migration cycle of birds? Answer. The migration cycle of birds is controlled by changes in the amount of daylight and weather. The migration cycle of birds is controlled by the changes in the amount of daylight and weather. C. How do birds find the same place for migration each year? Answer. Birds find the same place for migration each year by using the sun, moon, stars and Earth's magnetic field. Birds find the same place for migration each year by using the sun, moon, stars and Earth's magnetic field. Question D. Why do you think squirrels and mice huddle close together in winter? Answer. I think squirrels and mice huddle close together in winter to stay warm. I think squirrels and mice huddle close together in winter to stay warm. E. How do animals maintain energy during hibernation? Possible answer. Animals maintain energy by dropping their body temperature and slowing heartbeat and breathing during hibernation. Animals maintain energy by dropping their body temperature and slowing heartbeat and breathing during hibernation. Question F. How do frogs, turtles and fish change their habitats to survive in winter? Possible answer. Frogs, turtles and fish change their habitats by hiding under rocks, logs, fallen leaves and even burying in the mud to survive in winter. Again, task E. What do people do to avoid cold weather? Talk to your friends. To avoid cold weather, people do many different things, such as people stay in warm houses, people wear heavy coats outside, they wear warm clothes like jackets, sweaters, scarves and gloves, and at home they use blankets, heaters or fireplaces to stay warm. They drink hot tea, coffee or soup. They use boots to walk in snow, etc. Grammar task B. Use the correct form of the verbs from the brackets to complete the sentences. Task B is about conditional sentences. So what are conditional sentences? Conditional sentences are the sentences that show a condition and its result. यो conditional sentences भनेको के हो? सेन्टेन्सहरु जसले चाहिँ शर्त र त्यसको रिजल्ट अथवा नतिजा देखाउँछ। यसलाई if clauses पनि भनिन्छ। एक्जाम्पल, if you call me, यदि तपाईले मलाई बोलाउनु भयो भने I will come। यो के हो त? यो कन्डिसन हो, यानी कि शर्त। र I will come चाहिँ के हो? फ्युचरमा हुन सक्ने रिजल्ट हो। सो शर्त र त्यसको रिजल्ट नै के हो त? कन्डिशनल सेन्टेन्स हो। र यो कन्डिशनल सेन्टेन्सलाई if clause पनि भनिन्छ। A conditional sentence has two parts. एउटा कन्डिशनल सेन्टेन्समा दुईटा पार्ट्स हुन्छ। जस्तै कि if you call me यो एउटा पार्ट भयो, कम्मा त्यसपछि I will come यो अर्को पार्ट भयो। यो if भएको पार्टलाई हामी के भन्छौं? if clause भन्छौं। र यतापटिको त्यो मेन रिजल्ट हुन्छ, त्यसलाई चाहिँ हामी मेन क्लाउज भन्छौं। if clause, main clause. Another thing you need to learn in conditional sentence is we can exchange the place of if clause and main clause. Conditional sentence मा if clause र main clause को प्लेसलाई हामी एक्सचेन्ज पनि गर्न सक्छौं। Example, somebody will notice if you make a mistake. यो हाम्रो somebody will notice यो के हो त? main clause हो। if you make a mistake के भयो? यो if clause। अब यो if clause लाई अगाडि र somebody will notice लाई पछाडि पनि लेख्न मिल्छ। Example, if you make a mistake, somebody will notice भन्नु पनि करेक्ट नै हुन्छ, अथवा somebody will notice if you make a mistake पनि करेक्ट नै हो। In English, there are 5 types of conditional sentences. इङ्ग्लिशमा 5 प्रकारको conditional sentences छन्। 1. Zero conditional. 2. First conditional. 3. Second conditional. 4. Third conditional. र 5th mixed conditional. र यो 5 वटा कन्डिसनल्स मध्ये यो टास्कले दुईटा कन्डिसनललाई मात्र देखाएको छ। 1. Zero conditional. 2. First conditional. Zero conditional यसको स्ट्रक्चर के हो? if plus simple present plus simple present। यो zero conditional को स्ट्रक्चरमा if पछि simple present युज हुन्छ। यानी कि फर्स्ट सेन्टेन्समा पनि if clause मा पनि simple present र main clause मा पनि simple present। if त अगाडि आइ नै हाल्छ। याद गर्ने if को ठाउँमा हामी unless पनि युज गर्न सक्छौं है। जस्तै कि unless you call me। अब unless भएपछि यतापटि नेगेटिभ आएछ, I won't come। जबसम्म तपाईले मलाई बोलाउनु हुन्न तबसम्म म आउँदिन भन्नु र जब तपाईले मलाई बोलाउनु हुन्छ तब म आउँछु भन्ने कुरा एउटै हो, लाइक दिस। सो अगेन जेरो कन्डिसनल if plus simple present plus simple present यो के हो? जेरो कन्डिसनलको स्ट्रक्चर हो। र यो जेरो कन्डिसनल एक्जाम्पल के यसमा कुन कन्डिसनल युज भएको छ? जेरो कन्डिसनल इज युज्ड। You must study hard if you want to join। यहाँ के भाइ स्टडी भनेको पनि प्रेजेन्ट हो, want verb 1 भनेको पनि प्रेजेन्ट हो। सो यो you must study hard if you want to join college। Simple present plus simple present। Zero conditional is used for universal truth or scientific fact। यो जेरो कन्डिसनल चाहिँ युनिभर्सल ट्रुथ को लागि अथवा साइन्टिफिक फ्याक्ट को लागि युज हुन्छ, जुन जहिलेको तहिले ट्रू हुन्छ। एक्जाम्पल, if you hit snow it melts। स्नो हिउँलाई तताउनु भयो भने यो के हुन्छ? पग्लिन्छ। यो त युनिभर्सल ट्रुथ हो। यो के हो? युनिभर्सल ट्रुथ हो, यो साइन्टिफिक फ्याक्ट हो। यसमा हामीले कुन कन्डिसनल युज गर्यौं? जेरो कन्डिसनल। लुक, if you hit भनेको verb 1, melts भनेको verb 5 र verb 1 र verb 5 के हो त? सिम्पल प्रेजेन्ट। सो सिम्पल प्रेजेन्ट प्लस सिम्पल प्रेजेन्ट। if plus simple present plus simple present is zero conditional, and zero conditional is used for universal truths and scientific facts. Alright, understood? I hope you have understood. Next, first conditional. First conditional structure is if plus simple present plus simple future। सिम्पल प्रेजेन्ट भनेको verb 1 अथवा verb 5 अथवा ECMR र सिम्पल फ्युचर भनेको will plus verb 1। एक्जाम्पल, if you do not leave, यो do not leave केमा छ? सिम्पल प्रेजेन्ट, do not leave। अब यो I'll call the police भनेको I will call the police, will plus verb 1. If plus simple present plus simple future. यो के हो त first conditional. This first conditional is used for real or possible future situation. First conditional real मा future मा possible हुने situations को बारेमा युज हुन्छ अथवा भविष्यमा सम्भावित रिजल्ट को लागि हामी युज गर्छौं. एक्जाम्पल, if you do not leave, अहिले तपाई जानु भएन भने I'll call the police, म पुलिसलाई बोलाउने छु भन्दैछ. सो के भयो त फ्युचर को possible situation. Understood? Tell me in the comment section if you have understood or not. Alright? Okay, now let's continue. See, somebody notice if you make a mistake. Somebody will notice if you make a mistake. Okay, now let's continue. D. If I see her, I will tell her to call you. यो के हो त यो first conditional use भएको छ. Simple present plus simple future. E. She will be very angry if you don't apologize. Will simple future plus simple present. F. They will be happy if we invite them to the party. They will be happy. Simple future. We invite them. Simple present. First conditional. G. Will they pay me more if I work harder? Will plus verb 1. यो के हो? Simple future. And I work. यो work भनेको verb 1. यो के हो? Simple present. So, simple present plus simple future के भयो? First conditional. H. If you don't lock your bicycle, someone will steal it. Again, first conditional. If you don't lock your bicycle, bicycle मा चाबी लाउनु भएन भने कसैले चोरी दिन्छ. Present action, possible future result. So, first conditional. I will lend you some money if you promise not to waste it. This is condition. This is future possibility. Future मा हुने action को possibility. खर्च गर्दिन भन्नु भने मात्र दिन्छु, otherwise दिदिन भन्दैछ. J. Unless you use your English. यो unless भनेको के हो त? If not. यसको मतलब unless you use your English. यसको मतलब unless you do not use your English, it will not improve. यो के हो त? Future को possibility. Future मा के हुँदैन? English improve हुँदैन. के गरेन भने English use गरेन भने. के? You must study hard if you want to join college. कलेज जोइन गर्नु मन छ भन्ने मेहनत गरेर पढ्न पर्छ भन्दैछ. Writing 1. Task A. Read the following paragraph and answer the questions. Question. Which is the topic sentence or main idea of the paragraph? Where is it stated? Topic sentence अथवा main idea. This activity is teaching you how to write a paragraph. यो एक्टिभिटीले तपाईलाई प्याराग्राफ कसरी लेख्ने भन्ने कुराको बारेमा बताउँदैछ. सो प्याराग्राफ लेख्दाखेरि हामीले जहिले पनि टपिक सेन्टेन्स अथवा मेन आइडिया लेख्नु पर्ने हुन्छ, जुन कहाँ दिएको छ? एट द बिगिनिङ. सो यसले क्वेशन सोध्यो, which is the topic sentence or main idea of the paragraph? अब the topic sentence or main idea of the paragraph is the most important problem in our city is its poor public transportation system. Next, where is it stated? यो कहाँ भनिएको छ? It is stated at the beginning of the paragraph. Paragraph को सुरुवातमा भनिएको छ अथवा लेखिएको छ. What details does the writer use to support the main idea? अब यो मेन आइडियालाई सपोर्ट गर्नको लागि के डिटेल्स दिएको छ भन्दैछ. सो हामीले सुरुमा मेन आइडिया लेखिसकेपछि हामीहरुको मेन आइडियालाई सपोर्ट गर्नुपर्छ बाँकी सेन्टेन्सले. सुरुमा के भन्नु? सबैभन्दा ठूलो समस्या चाहिँ के हो त? पुअर पब्लिक ट्रान्सपोर्टेसन सिस्टम हो. यो ट्रान्सपोर्टेसनको सिस्टमै खराब छ भन्नु. अब यो कसरी खराब छ भन्ने कुरालाई बताउनु पर्यो. के भन्नु? Thousands of residents rely on the city's buses and taxis to travel throughout this large city, while the city transportation system's daily schedules are totally unreliable. यो छ नि यो पब्लिक ट्रान्सपोर्टेसन सिस्टम बस ट्याक्सी चाहिँ के छ? अनरिलायबल, भरोसाजनक छैन भन्दैछ. यसलाई नै सपोर्ट गरौ. फेरि पछि के भन्नु? बस जुन 6:30 बजे आउनुपर्ने थियो 7 बजे आउँछ अथवा 7 बजे भन्दा पछि पनि आउँछ। फेरि यही कुराले यसलाई नै के गर्यो सपोर्ट गर्यो। पब्लिक ट्रान्सपोर्टेसन खराब छ भन्ने कुरालाई देखायो यो मुनिको सेन्टेन्सहरूले। सो यसलाई के भन्नु सपोर्टिङ सेन्टेन्सेस अथवा डिटेल्स द्याट सपोर्ट द मेन आइडिया। What details does the writer use to support the main idea? Answer. The writer uses the following details to support the main idea. Buses and taxis are unreliable. A bus scheduled at 6:30 a.m. may arrive at 7 or later. Next, bus driver passes group of people waiting, and because of this, people end up going to work late or missing important appointments. So these are the supporting ideas. Supporting sentences. यिनीहरूलाई के भन्नु supporting sentences जसले चाहिँ main आइडियालाई support गरिरहेछ. Next, underline the conclusion of the paragraph. अन्तिममा हामीले conclusion लेख्नुपर्ने हुन्छ. अब conclusion कुन हो? Look, यहाँदेखि चाहिँ conclusion. So this is what conclusion. We have to underline it. Underline, please underline, okay? Okay, next D. What ought to be the topic of this paragraph? अब यो प्याराग्राफको टपिक के हुन सक्ला? यसले के को बारेमा कुरा गर्दैछ? पुअर ट्रान्सपोर्टेसन सिस्टम. लुक, पुअर पब्लिक ट्रान्सपोर्टेसन सिस्टमको कुरा गर्यो. अब यसलाई नै हामीले फोकस गरेर हामीले राख्न सक्छौँ टपिक कि पुअर पब्लिक ट्रान्सपोर्टेसन सिस्टम पनि हुन सक्छ अथवा अझै यसलाई स्ट्रङ बनाउने हो भने पुअर एन्ड अनरिलायबल पब्लिक ट्रान्सपोर्टेसन सिस्टम र यो टपिकले चाहिँ हाम्रो यहाँनिर भएभरको सेन्टेन्सहरू यसले भन्नु खोजेको कुरालाई चाहिँ के गर्न पर्यो कभर गर्न पर्यो. सो पुअर एन्ड अनरिलायबल पब्लिक ट्रान्सपोर्टेसन सिस्टम लेख्यौँ भने यसले यहाँ हाम्रो भएको सेन्टेन्सहरूले सपोर्ट गर्छ. अलराइट, सो हामीले के सिक्यौँ योबाट प्याराग्राफ कसरी लेख्ने. अब प्याराग्राफ कसरी लेख्ने? फर्स्ट मेन आइडिया अर टपिक सेन्टेन्स. सेकेन्ड हाम्रो मेन आइडियालाई सपोर्टिङ सेन्टेन्सहरूले सपोर्ट गर्नु पर्यो. त्यसपछि अन्तिममा कन्क्लुजन दिनु पर्यो र प्याराग्राफ लेख्दाखेरि जहिले पनि के लेख्ने टपिक लेख्ने. ओके. टास्क बी, राइट सिमिलर प्याराग्राफ्स अन द फलोइङ टपिक्स इन अबाउट 100 वर्ड्स. ए. डिफोरेस्टेसन. सिम्पल एन्सर. टपिक डिफोरेस्टेसन. Deforestation is one of the major environmental problems in the world. People cut down trees for farming, construction, and industries, which destroys forests. As a result, many animals lose their homes, and the balance of nature is disturbed. Deforestation also leads to soil erosion and floods because tree roots hold the soil. Moreover, it increases global warming as there are fewer trees to absorb carbon dioxide. To protect our environment, we must plant more trees and stop unnecessary cutting. Saving forests is important for clean air, wildlife, and the survival of future generations. B. Endangered animals. Topic: endangered animals. Many animals around the world are becoming endangered due to hunting, habitat loss, and climate change. Animals like tigers, pandas, and rhinos are on the verge of extinction. When forests are destroyed or polluted, these animals lose their homes and food sources. Poaching for fur, horns, and other body parts also threatens their survival. Endangered animals are very important for the balance of nature. We should protect them by creating wildlife reserves, banning illegal hunting, and spreading awareness. If we do not take action, future generations may never see these beautiful creatures again. We have completed our lesson today. Thank you for watching this lesson. See you in the next video. Keep learning, keep growing.